Welcome to another edition of Digital Marketing 101. I'm Solomon Timothy. Today's question is, why is my Facebook ad cost per click so high, and is there a way to lower it? As always, just like this question and any other question that you might have, we love answering them. That's all we do all day long. We talk to customers and potential customers, people that are lost and concerned and worried. They're not getting the results. They're frustrated that ROI is not there as they thought that was going to be there, and just being able to help each other and maneuver through all the complexities of running Facebook ads or Google ads or any marketing campaign today is complex, right? Marketing is complex. So we strive here to simplify things and help you understand why some things may not be working the way that you have anticipated, just like this question right here. So there are multiple reasons why somebody might pay too much money for their Facebook ad. Ad is not relevant. The people that are looking at your ad, they're like, nah, doesn't look like anything I need to see. So how does that work? Why did we ever show an ad that's not relevant to somebody? It's all because the way that you had actually set up the campaign, pick the targeting. There may be too many things that you've picked in terms of interest. They were not super tight knit things that are relevant. You pick bicycling and camping together, something completely different, and there's just nobody's resonating with the message. Just doesn't click. Let's use that as a word. It's not clicking, all right? So if it's not clicking, they're not gonna wanna click on it. So long story short, your ad is not relevant. So work on increasing that relevance score. That's what you wanna do. Your internal relevance score. If I was a skydiving freak, will I click on this ad? Ask yourself that. You know, most time what I would do when I create an amazing campaign, whatever idea that I have, it doesn't matter for me, it's for anyone. I say, if I was that customer, will I buy, right? Is it good enough that I'm going to buy it? Do I love the ad copy? Do I love the landing pages? Do I love the offer? Would I be intrigued by $25 off or 25% off? Makes a huge difference if you can sell yourself. Think about it. Most of the time we're running ads thinking somebody's gonna click on it and hope for the best, but you yourself are not convinced that this is going to work, right? You're not convinced. So if you're not convinced, there's a reason why people aren't convinced either. That's the reason why you're probably paying too much cost per click on that particular ad. So that's one reason as to why. So when that happens, your, what I call click-through rate shoots down. When engagement, any kind of engagement, when the engagement shoots low, Zuckerberg wants to make you pay more. That's the equation. Your engagement goes down, Zuckerberg wants you to pay more. So that's a very true fact. You have to understand that. Like, that's what I call thumb-stopping creative. When I see that, it's like, whoa, what is that? Why is this guy on top of the roof? Should I pay attention? Should I turn on that sound? That's what you want to do. The engagement, I double tap, I leave a comment, I click on it, I go there, I save my ad, right? If I save my ad, that's engagement. So anytime that you can actually get engagement on the ad, you're gonna not have the issue that you had before, right? The question is, why am I paying so much cost per click? How am I gonna save some money, Solomon? Help me out. I am spending too much money. It's costing me more than Google. Something's wrong. Yes, something is wrong. Otherwise, you shouldn't be paying that much for a Facebook ad. So get that relevancy score higher, get more micro-targeted, not just targeted, micro-targeted. And even in the ad copy, hey, skydiving fan, this is what we're offering right now. Does that make sense? So that will get them to want to get interested. And if they see that enough, they will probably click on it. And if they click on it, you're going to have higher engagement. And higher engagement means you're going to get a better score for your ad, and that would score higher in terms of where it is in the newsfeed, top, middle, bottom. You can pay high to get to the top, but if your ad is not that relevant, they don't care how much you're willing to pay. Somebody else's ad is gonna show up before yours. The next thing that you wanna do, even if you can get higher engagement, I want you to create ad number 1 and ad number 2, ad number 3, and test which one of these actually driving better engagement. The next reason why it shoots up is you don't have enough variety of ads that Facebook can serve and run its algorithm and try to get the engagement that you're looking for. Facebook is technically wanting your money, The only way they're going to do that is if you have something nice to offer and they're willing to take whatever you put into their bucket and they'll run it. But if you don't give them enough ad copies and test different creatives, they're not going to want to do anything because they have one to work with. So the second thing that I usually see is there's just not enough creative for Facebook to actually do what you're looking to get done, which is lower that cost per click in the first place. The rule of thumb is you have high impressions and low clicks, you have high CPC. So something is wrong. A lot of impressions, people are just scrolling like, yeah. Nobody's clicking on it. That gives a signal almost instantaneously. After so many impressions, they're just gonna start to decrease the impressions of the ad. And then when you wanna see more, you keep wanting to pay more. And because they want you to pay more, because obviously you're not doing something right, you end up being penalized. Little minor mistakes early on ends up becoming a big one later on. First things first, go back to square one. Who are you selling to? What are you trying to sell? What's the ad copy? What's the offer? Would you click on it if that were you, right? If you were going through that, if you're that person, would you click on it and think about that? Can you make a better version? Because everybody got to start somewhere. So create the second version, different ad, make a carousel ad, right? Make a video ad. You can have an image ad, a carousel ad, a video ad. That's 3 right there, and see which one's performing best. I bet your video might. Hint, that would be one thing to do, and say, hey, what can I do to micro target? How do I make this more smaller? You don't need 21 million people in your pool to actually make $1 million. Trust me, you need a much smaller pool. Many times, that's the biggest mistake. There's 77 million people. How can you create anything 77 million people are gonna like? Long story short, figuring out who that perfect audience is, that might only be a few thousand, because that would make them click. In a small segmented audience, it doesn't have to be all over the United States, all over the world. Small segment, get hyper, super niche, and figure out, can I get them to click and watch your CPC start to go down? So quick tips here as to why you might be paying too much. And if you set it all up wrong, there may be a possibility, but most importantly, I'm sure you did a fantastic job setting up Facebook ads. They make it easy because they want your money, don't get me wrong. But the reason many people struggle is simply because sometimes they have just too many things in their target. It's like running a Google Ads campaign with one campaign, one ad group, and 2,500 keywords under it, right? Like they just didn't think much about it. They just thought Google is gonna automatically optimize the ad copy based on my keyword. It doesn't do that. So you wanna make sure that you're in control over the ad account, because right now, Facebook is in control of it. They dictate what your CPC is. You really have no control. So that would be my first tip if I was trying to lower my cost per click. The only other reason why you might pay too much is because you do have a super high niche audience. You're looking for billionaires and they're living in a certain zip code, and you may have to pay a lot for that because there's a lot of people trying to target those few people. That costs too much money. I can understand that, but chances are that is not the case. You have way too much of a broad campaign, irrelevant ad copies. The landing page could use a lot of help. Let's put it that way. Just everything is just not clicking. And if it's not clicking, you're gonna be paying a lot for your clicks. So I hope you got something out of this quick video as to why you might be paying too much. And you may not be paying too much today, but you might be if you don't work on these same things. So it doesn't matter when this is going to attack your account specifically. If you're not working on optimizing, the whole idea about optimizing ads is to keep an eye on your cost and your conversions. You gotta keep those things in line. If it's not working, leaving it on longer doesn't do anything. The platforms are trying to tell you something, please optimize me. And so that's what a job of an ad manager is, to go back and look at it, run reports, do everything that you know how to do to improve your quality of the ad, improve the engagement, because chances are, just so you know, boatloads of advertisers are advertising for the same people. Who are they going to pick? They're going to pick the advertiser who has the highest engagement for their audience automatically. And if they're willing to pay more, their ads are going to show up to the top of the newsfeed of your ideal customer. All right. That is the person that the platform wants to reward by default. So everyone else that lacks engagement, it's going to be lower. It doesn't even matter. You're willing to pay more. All they're looking for is, can this feel less like an ad? That is the fundamental as to how every platform wants to be. They don't want to feel like an ad, but they're using that so somebody else can get value. So if you looked at a website and you go to your feed and all of a sudden you start retargeting, that's the kind of thing. What can it do so that it can be an extension of your omni-channel experience, right? So think about that next time you're creating. It's not just about one ad. They care about the entire user base. How are they going to keep them on the platform? How are they going to keep them coming back? And how are they going to make them stick to the platform and feel less like this platform is just doing ads, especially ads that are completely irrelevant to me. If you can fix that for you, these platforms will reward you greatly. You're going to have an amazing experience. You're going to make a lot of money. But first, you have to respect the platform, respect the way the ads run and the algorithm. Let that guide you rather than just sort of throwing anything together and see what sticks. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you got something out of this tiny little video. Hope you got some nuggets, something you could take to your boss and tell him, look, you should pay me more. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button. Thanks a lot for watching. And most importantly, please send us more questions. I will see you next time.